You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
He has a baby by a woman that was dating Tupac. He chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone.
This is a lot of the personal footage of Diddy. It shocked a lot of people. And I know, 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown? Who's gonna be the next docuseries about?
Because Diddy is so hated by 50 Cent that apparently a decade ago, 50 Cent just started gathering information on Diddy. As much as he could find. And he started working on a documentary series on how bad Diddy is. A documentary, he did interviews, he hates this man so much. A documentary series that he's already potentially sold to Netflix. And the craziest thing about it is that apparently, I don't know if this is true, but this is what I've been hearing. I looked it up from several outlets, and 50 Cent's documentary series about Sean Combs is titled Diddy Do It?
The business-wise for a long time.
But that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there.
Yeah.
Right? Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm scared.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
They see it.
Nah, you see this. They want to act like, oh, we got nothing to do with that.
Jay-Z is being pulled back into the spotlight as a newly filed lawsuit reportedly links his name to the widening legal storm surrounding Sean Diddy Combs. Meanwhile, 50 Cent continues to turn up the heat, publicly pressuring anyone even loosely connected to the unfolding situation, and the tension is escalating fast. Diddy's legal challenges are mounting, with his defense team now pushing to delay proceedings, a move that could stretch the battle out for years. Recent court filings suggest the number of alleged victims may be far greater than initially believed, signaling that this case is expanding, not slowing down. The stakes rise even higher with reports that Cassie Ventura is expected to testify, a development that could bring significant weight and credibility to the courtroom. As each new detail emerges, the focus is shifting beyond Diddy himself to the powerful names orbiting the case, and how deeply each may be drawn into a controversy that shows no signs of fading.
He offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. Stop it, look. Just set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what's going on there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
She said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you've been the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
You're a hater. They say you're crazy.
Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
50 Cent firmly established himself as one of Sean Diddy Combs' most outspoken critics, and he shows no signs of backing down. Through sharp commentary and strategically timed remarks, he continues to challenge the people, decisions, and relationships tied to the embattled music mogul. His approach is calculated, persistent, and impossible to ignore. During a recent podcast appearance, 50 Cent shared a story that quickly sparked conversation. He claimed that Meek Mill was once seen wearing coordinated outfits with Diddy at a private gathering, an event 50 says he declined to attend because something about the invitation didn't sit right with him. According to 50, Diddy had first invited him on a shopping trip ahead of the party, an offer he immediately rejected, describing the situation as overly planned and unsettling. Meek Mill, however, reportedly accepted the invitation, allegedly viewing the connection as a potential career opportunity. What he may not have anticipated was how that moment would later resurface, drawing scrutiny, fueling debate, and adding another layer to the growing controversy surrounding Diddy.
Then, when it was 2016, you know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaires lunch. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we're gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else to us.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. After that, he got some shit. He started drinking. His picture with him. Thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
His career, you can look at that as say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture.
Jay-Z is no longer remaining on the sidelines as his name continues to resurface amid the expanding controversy, placing him firmly back under the public microscope. For years, he and Beyoncé have been publicly linked within the same high-profile social and industry circles as Sean Diddy Combs. Now, voices like 50 Cent, along with various industry commentators, suggest those long-standing associations reflect deeper power dynamics that have shaped parts of the hip-hop business landscape for decades. Some critics push the narrative further, speculating that Jay-Z and Beyoncé's alliance has been as strategic as it is personal, rooted in shared ventures and influence at the highest levels of entertainment. With all three figures moving within the same elite networks and supporting intersecting business interests, it becomes clearer why Jay-Z's name continues to surface as the controversy grows, and why the spotlight around him shows no sign of dimming anytime soon.
Who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take but he wants you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect.
50 Cent appears determined to keep the pressure on, signaling that his remarks about Meek Mill and Jay-Z may be just the beginning. Through interviews and social media, he has made it clear that he plans to continue scrutinizing the high-profile relationships orbiting Sean Diddy Combs, suggesting there are more connections he believes deserve public attention. From 50 Cent's perspective, this moment is only the opening chapter. As the controversy surrounding Diddy continues to evolve, he seems ready to widen the lens, hinting that additional names and stories could surface as the situation grows more intense and far-reaching.
You better believe it. Shout out Def Jam, we the best. You know what it is. It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessings to the whole entire universe.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean?
Looking back at Diddy Combs' inner circle in the early 2010s, it's striking how many once familiar faces later appeared to quietly create distance, as if those close ties had never existed. Artists and industry figures such as Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and Usher were frequently seen in his orbit during that era, making the shift in visibility over time all the more noticeable. Years later, renewed attention surfaced around a 2018 incident at Trump National Doral, Miami, where a man involved in a serious disturbance made controversial claims during subsequent interviews, alleging he had past interactions connected to Diddy. Those statements were never substantiated, but they added another layer of intrigue that kept certain past associations in public conversation. As more fragments of old stories resurface and new allegations emerge, the growing list of names once linked to that chapter of Diddy's world continues to raise difficult questions and keeps the spotlight fixed firmly on the past as the broader controversy
Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida April 1st, Joseph Manzaro alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, and named celebs such as Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. In his filing, Manzaro says the alleged events took place in April 2015. He states that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline as he opened the front door to his home, after which he says he was transported to another residence, where an associate of Combs allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. Manzaro alleges in the suit he was secretly transferred to the music producer's home through a concealed tunnel allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's Miami property. He alleges that upon regaining partial consciousness, he found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was a birthday party for Combs' then 17-year-old son, Christian Combs. There, he was allegedly forced to appear in a penis mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" Manzaro alleges in the lawsuit that he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and we'll talk a little bit more about it.
The newly filed civil lawsuit has widened the scope of the controversy, drawing the names of Jay-Z, Beyonce, and LeBron James into legal claims connected to an event reportedly hosted by Sean Diddy Combs. The plaintiff, Joseph Manzaro, alleges that in 2015 he was deliberately impaired, transported without proper consent, and subjected to mistreatment as part of what he describes as a coordinated situation involving Diddy and others. These allegations are now moving through the court system and have not been proven, but the case's expanding reach has intensified public attention. Legal observers note that as proceedings continue, additional details and possibly more names could surface. The situation is amplifying calls for transparency and accountability, should any of the claims ultimately be substantiated.
It's hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I say, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all the memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but you know that one it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome, and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
You really heard
heard that?
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
It's not only figures from the hip-hop world whose past associations with Sean Diddy Combs are drawing renewed attention. Over the years, several prominent Hollywood names have also been mentioned as part of his broader social circle, which is why recent remarks from stars like Will Smith and Jennifer Lopez are now being viewed through a different lens. Speculation about celebrities attending Diddy's private events has circulated for years, occasionally even becoming the subject of late-night monologues. At the time, most of those mentions were largely dismissed as industry gossip. Now, however, even carefully worded public statements are being examined more closely, reflecting a growing awareness that anyone previously linked, directly or indirectly, to Diddy's orbit could face heightened public scrutiny as legal proceedings continue to unfold.
Worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them,
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got shit in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
Like,
I took.
not that it's real enough.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't f***ing give her a drink so she forget what the f*** happened. What the f*** is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drinks. I gave me the f***ing drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the f***? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
So
just
for
to
people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too, this is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
He made a deliberate effort to draw a clear line, emphasizing that he wanted no involvement in that world and taking steps to ensure his name was never associated with that lifestyle. It was a conscious decision to remain distant, protecting both his reputation and his separation from an environment he chose not to be part of.
P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go into the 90s and Kiki D said they paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, like you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily...
Another high-profile name now entering the conversation is Leonardo DiCaprio. While his personal life has long attracted media attention, the focus has recently shifted to reports placing him at some of Sean Diddy Combs' widely discussed social events. Appearances that were once seen as routine celebrity overlap are now being reconsidered as the broader situation continues to unfold, with scrutiny intensifying around individuals who moved within Diddy's social orbit. Even past event attendance is drawing renewed curiosity. DiCaprio's reported presence at these gatherings adds another layer to an already complex and evolving story. one where public interest continues to grow with each new detail.
Docuseries that you've been working on. Diddy do it?
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle. You weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy. It's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been the same lobbyists and the same people that use their connections to make that happen for Puff.
Is that kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years? Is it because of the liquor situation? Because to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
For with brands, and he was ahead of me,
right?
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that, and then integrating it into our culture with Coco Loso and different things with different people, connected to it. So yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at, he would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some.
With 50 Cent's upcoming documentary on the horizon, many celebrities connected to Sean Diddy Combs are reportedly on edge, fully aware of the potential impact once it drops. The project, one Diddy himself publicly acknowledged in December 2023, is set for release in the coming months and promises to go far beyond his past, casting a sharp light on the powerful network that has long surrounded him. According to 50 Cent, this won't be a collection of recycled gossip or surface-level commentary. Viewers can expect an in-depth exploration of how Diddy's alleged operations functioned behind closed doors and who stood to benefit from proximity to that circle of influence. It's precisely this looming exposure that has many industry figures quietly bracing for revelations capable of reshaping the public conversation.
And that's what they f***ed up at. You can tell me Puff went away for a long time, bro, but do you not hear the of Meek Mill? Do you not hear all of the shake it off, take that of Will Smith? Can you not give me the oh God of TD Jakes? I just don't want to be in the room where niggas be actually doing this, man, because that's crazy for a real Crip to pull up and be like, yo, my nigga, like, check this out. Like, I really heard Carl Winslow in there. Like, yo, I was like, yo, getting slapped like that. Slap. Who was he banging this out like a next thing you know, he walk in there and it's actually my mother.
Is Diddy a dangerous man?
Nah, you missed the fact that was my mom. Like, that was Jaguar Wright getting it's Carl Winslow, you know.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stand.
Usher, Odell Beckham Jr., Terrence Howard, and Justin Bieber have all been drawn into the growing conversation surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, and the list of familiar names continues to expand. Even Orlando Brown, despite his turbulent reputation, has repeatedly claimed to hold uncomfortable insights about industry figures who, in his view, present one image publicly while living a very different reality behind the scenes. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has suggested that some individuals may have compromised their personal standards or self-respect in exchange for access, influence, or career advancement. Terrence Howard once described that trade-off as exchanging authenticity for fame. Now, as scrutiny intensifies, many connected to Diddy appear increasingly uneasy, confronting the reality that choices made years ago may be resurfacing under an unrelenting spotlight.
How did that? Of all questions,
did he miss that train?
How did that go?
That train might have left the
That
station,
train took
but
off
you
from
were
the
right
station.
there.
Yeah,
You were right there to get on that.
That train took off from the station for sure.
You were close.
Yeah. I wasn't at that train station.
You left early? You left early?
No, that was down the street from me. I wasn't there. No.
Did you ever meet Diddy?
Yo, what the fuck?
Bro, yo, I forgot you
He's
actually
like, yo,
might have.
I've seen pictures with you there.
50 Cent may be the only figure bold enough to pull back the curtain completely. And with his upcoming docuseries, the question on everyone's mind is, will he actually do it? The entertainment world is bracing for impact. When it drops, this series isn't expected to tiptoe around speculation. It promises to confront the story head-on, potentially exposing layers that many had hoped would remain buried. This saga is far from over, and the consequences could be far-reaching as new details continue to emerge. The next chapter could deliver revelations powerful enough to reshape the entire narrative. Stay tuned. This may become one of the most explosive celebrity stories of this generation.